Hello everyone, very good afternoon. Guys, I hope your paper went well. कैसा गया पेपर? Anyone would like to comment? पेपर कैसा गया? Please comment in the chat section. मैं भी पेपर की बात करूंगा कि एनालिसिस हम करेंगे थोड़ा सा कि पेपर आसान था या मुश्किल था या किस सेक्शन में से कैसे क्वेश्चन आए. We will discuss, but anybody would like to comment meanwhile कि आपका पेपर कैसा गया मैं जानना चाहूंगा. मीनाक्षी सिंह नाइस. मीनाक्षी आपकी अच्छी तैयारी थी, आपका तो नाइस ही गया होगा. जो मैंने अभी क्वेश्चंस देखे आपका अच्छा जाना चाहिए. नीलेश सूर्यवंशी आपका कैसा गया बेटा? टफ. तेजस्वी सिंह टफ था. ठीक गया सर. शिवई सिंह ठीक है. चलो एनालिसिस शुरू करते हैं. साथ में वी विल ऑल्सो कम अप विद एन आंसर की. But I would like to give a disclaimer at the start. See, this paper is memory based और कहीं ना कहीं जल्दी में बनाया जाता है. Though we should wait for 2-3 days and then come up with an answer key, but that defeats the purpose. ठीक है. But हम actual paper बनाएंगे और डिटेल में और लोगों को कंसल्ट कर कर, तो थोड़ा जल्दी में बनाया गया है. बट फिर भी due care has been taken that the questions that came in the exam, we have came up with those questions only. लैंग्वेज शायद एग्जैक्ट ना हो, बट हमें ज्यादा इस टाइम आंसर से मतलब है. कुछ क्वेश्चंस शायद हम अगर गलत लैंग्वेज में फ्रेम कर गए हैं और उनका आंसर भी गलत बता रहे हैं, तो डू लेट अस नो. ऐसी मिस्टेक्स हो जाती हैं बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव द फुल क्लैरिटी एज ऑफ नाउ. तो आप हमें कमेंट सेक्शन में कमेंट कर कर जरूर बताइए. इफ देयर इज एनी मिस्टेक वी विल करेक्ट दैट. ठीक है. पेपर 1 वाज हार्डर. बिल्कुल. चलिए शुरू करते हैं. तो ओवरऑल देखिए, अब ये परसेप्शन है, हर बंदे का अलग हो सकता है कि पेपर का लेवल क्या था. मैं अभी पेपर 2 की बात करूंगा. अगर हम पेपर 2 की बात करें, आई थिंक वो टफ तो बिल्कुल नहीं था. टफ तो बिल्कुल नहीं था. ठीक है. अब वो इजी टू मॉडरेट के बीच में सबकी अलग अलग परसेप्शन है कि किसको क्या लगा. अगर किसी की बहुत अच्छी तैयारी है, मैं ये समझता हूं दैट इफ somebody has prepared very seriously for phase 2 and is prepared up to the level that he is actually a contender for the selection कि वो phase 2 में भी अच्छा करेगा, तो मुझे लगता है कि उसको तो ओवरऑल इजी ही लगा होगा. मतलब वो आराम से यहां पे 70 प्लस तो ला ही सकता है, या 75 प्लस भी शायद ले आएगा, पर 70 प्लस आने चाहिए अगर आपने अच्छे से तैयारी की थी और आप अपने आप को phase 2 में भी एक अच्छा कॉन्टेंडर मानते हैं. बाकी डिपेंडिंग अपॉन योर प्रिपरेशन, डिफरेंट पीपल वुड फाइंड इट डिफिकल्ट एट डिफरेंट लेवल. किसी को मॉडरेट लगा होगा, शायद कुछ लोगों को टफ भी लगा हो, बट दे नीड टू रियलाइज दैट दे वर नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड देन. अगर आपको ये टफ लगा है, ये एग्जाम अगर आपको टफ लगा है, नो ऑफेंसेस मेंट, बट इसका मतलब आप प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं थे या आपने बहुत शॉर्टकट से तैयारी की होगी. ठीक है. ये मेरा पेपर 2 का फीडबैक है. पेपर 1 में मैं ज्यादा कमेंट नहीं कर पाऊंगा, रिस्पेक्टिव फैकल्टीज ने आपको बताया होगा, बट आई जस्ट डिस्कस विद देम. तो ये इजी तो नहीं था, ये इजी बिल्कुल नहीं था. ठीक है. अब पेपर 1 किसी को टफ लगा होगा, किसी को मॉडरेट लगा होगा, इजी नहीं था. इनफैक्ट जो जीए सेक्शन था दैट वाज बिट वियर्ड आई वुड से. तो वहां पे काफी लोग बैंक करते हैं कि मार्क्स ले आएंगे, वो शायद नहीं हुआ होगा, इसलिए काफी लोगों को वो मॉडरेट या टफ लगा होगा. इजी बिल्कुल नहीं था जी पेपर 1. तो पेपर 1 में कट ऑफ अब शायद पिछली बार जितनी चली जाए, या 1-2 नंबर कम या 1-2 नंबर ज्यादा चली जाए, क्योंकि हमें एग्जैक्ट क्राइटेरिया पता नहीं है उन्होंने कितने लोग लेने हैं फेज 2 के लिए. चलिए अब हम सब्जेक्ट वाइज देखते हैं थोड़ा कितने कितने क्वेश्चन आए हैं. तो इस बार फाइनेंस में से काफी क्वेश्चन आ गए जी, 11 क्वेश्चन. कॉस्टिंग में से 9 क्वेश्चन. ठीक है. ये 2 सेक्शंस ने डोमिनेट किया है ओवरऑल. सो आउट ऑफ 50 अगर मैं 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 सेक्शंस में डिवाइड करना चाहूं, तो अराउंड 7 क्वेश्चंस बनते हैं पर सेक्शन. बट फाइनेंस और इकोनॉमिक्स ने डोमिनेट किया. हमारे पास टोटल 46 क्वेश्चंस हैं. अभी 4 क्वेश्चंस हमारे पास नहीं है. तो दिस इज द वेटेज आई एम टेलिंग यू आउट ऑफ 46. कंपनीज एक्ट और पेंशन में भी मैं बोलूंगा ठीक ही वेटेज रहा. ठीक है, हम 7 एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं, पर चलो 6 आ गए। आई थिंक व्हाट वाज रियली शॉकिंग और थोड़ा जो मुझे लगा कि मैनेजमेंट में से कम क्वेश्चन आए, शायद जो बचे हुए 4 हैं उनमें से मैनेजमेंट में क्वेश्चंस हो। कॉमर्स एंड अकाउंट से भी काफी कम आए 5, और इकोनॉमिक्स से भी कम आए। ठीक है, तो ये थोड़ा ओवरऑल एनालिसिस है। बाकी रिस्पेक्टिव टीचर्स जब अपने रिस्पेक्टिव सेक्शंस की आंसर की देंगे, दे विल टेल यू द एनालिसिस फॉर रिस्पेक्टिव सेक्शंस। आई विल बी कवरिंग द फर्स्ट 2 सेक्शंस, ठीक है, फिर कृतिका मैम इकोनॉमिक्स करेंगी और फिर जलज सर बाकी के सेक्शंस करेंगे। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द कंपनीज एक्ट फर्स्ट। तो कंपनीज एक्ट का जो ओवरऑल एनालिसिस है, मुझे तो जी जो है वो मतलब बहुत टफ तो नहीं था, मैं बोलूंगा। अगेन, अगर किसी की बहुत अच्छी प्रिपरेशन है उसको इजी लगा होगा, बाकी अगर किसी ने अच्छे से प्रिपेयर नहीं किया तो उसको मॉडरेट लग सकता है। क्वेश्चंस कोई बहुत मुश्किल नहीं थे, अगर आपने सेक्शंस को पढ़ा है तो कर सकते थे। हाँ, जो आपके सेक्शंस जो आपके क्वेश्चंस आए हैं, इफ आई ट्राई टू डिवाइड अमंग डिफरेंट चैप्टर्स इन द सिलेबस, तो जो डिविडेंड प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स वाले चैप्टर हैं उनमें से ज्यादा क्वेश्चन आए हैं। जैसे एनसीएलटी से कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं आया, जो नीचे वाले चैप्टर हैं। पावर ऑफ बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर से कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं आया, ऑडिटर से भी शायद एक ही क्वेश्चन आया है। तो जो डिविडेंड प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स वाले चैप्टर थे, डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ डिविडेंड, प्रेफरेंस शेयर कैपिटल वाला एक चैप्टर है, उनमें से ही ज्यादा क्वेश्चन आए हैं। चलिए अब एक एक करके क्वेश्चन डिस्कस कर लेते हैं। अकॉर्डिंग टू कंपनीज एक्ट, अंडर सेक्शन 32 व्हेन अ कंपनी प्लान्स टू रेज फंड्स, वो क्या फाइल करती है? सीधा दिया हुआ है कि सेक्शन 32 के अंदर बताओगे। सेक्शन 32 किस चीज के बारे में बात करता है? सेक्शन 32 बात करता है रेड हेरिंग प्रोस्पेक्टस के बारे में। तो इसका आंसर सी था, रेड हेरिंग प्रोस्पेक्ट्स। बहुत आसान था, ये पढ़ाया भी हुआ है आपको। देखिए सेक्शन 32 हेडिंग से ही पता लग रहा है दिस इज अबाउट रेड हेरिंग प्रोस्पेक्ट्स। तो यहां पे आंसर था ऑप्शन नंबर सी। ठीक है, कट ऑफ की बात बाद में करेंगे जी, कट ऑफ की बात बाद में करेंगे। लेट अस फोकस ऑन द आंसर्स फर्स्ट। अंडर सेक्शन 125 ऑफ द कंपनीज एक्ट विच फंड इज एस्टेब्लिश? तो सेक्शन 125 में हम क्या पढ़ते हैं? हम आईईपीएफ के बारे में पढ़ते हैं, इन्वेस्टर एजुकेशन एंड प्रोटेक्शन फंड। तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन नंबर बी। अगेन इसमें ज्यादा डेप्थ में कुछ नहीं पूछा है कि आईपीएफ फंड में कौन पैसा डिपॉजिट कराता है, क्या इसके रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस हैं। दे हैव डायरेक्टली आस्क्ड यू दैट अंडर सेक्शन 125 कौन सा फंड एस्टेब्लिश हुआ है। तो आंसर बी है जी इसका। और ये देखिए अगेन, अगर आप हेडिंग भी समझ गए होते जो आपके कोर्स में दे रखा है, सेक्शन 125 इज अबाउट इन्वेस्टर एजुकेशन एंड प्रोटेक्शन फंड। चलिए जी तीसरा क्वेश्चन देखते हैं। एज पर कंपनीज एक्ट, व्हेन अ कंपनी मेक्स अ प्राइवेट प्लेसमेंट ऑफ सिक्योरिटीज, इट मस्ट अलॉट द सिक्योरिटीज विद इन डैश डेज ऑफ रिसिप्ट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन मनी। तो जब हम किसी भी आईपीओ वगैरह में या प्राइवेट प्लेसमेंट में पैसा लगाते हैं, तो हम we file an application and we give money to allot us shares. Within how many shares these securities must be allotted after you have given the application money or they have received the application money? So here again it was very straightforward. The answer is option number B. 60 days के अंदर अंदर उनको securities allocate करनी होती हैं। तो ये भी बहुत स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड था। सेक्शन 42 प्राइवेट प्लेसमेंट के अंडर आता है। Within 60 days from receipt of application money, the securities need to be allotted. चलिए गाइज इस पे फोकस कीजिए अभी आंसर की पे। एज पर कंपनीज एक्ट, once a company declares a dividend, it must be paid within how many days from the date of declaration? एक बार डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर कर दिया तो कितने दिनों में पे करना होता है कंपनी को? 30 डेज जी, 30 डेज आंसर है इसका। 30 डेज के अंदर अंदर कंपनी नीड्स टू पे अ डिविडेंड वंस द डिविडेंड इज डिक्लेयर्ड। तो ये सेक्शन 127 है। कि कंपनी को 30 डेज के अंदर डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर करने के बाद उसको शेयर होल्डर को देना होता है। ऐसा नहीं है कि वो रख के बैठ गए और डिक्लेयर कर दिया। विद इन 30 डेज दे हैव टू गिव दी पेमेंट। बिल्कुल सही जी, काफी लोगों के सही आंसर्स हैं। अ पब्लिक कंपनी कैन नॉट इशू, पब्लिक कंपनी क्या इशू नहीं कर सकती है, ये मुझे थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजिंग लगा। काफी लोग इसका आंसर वैसे प्रायोरिटी शेयर्स कह रहे हैं कि प्रायोरिटी शेयर्स करके कुछ होता नहीं है। ये बात सही है कि बोनस, इक्विटी, राइट एंड प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स आर फॉर्मल टर्म्स, बट प्रायोरिटी शेयर्स is actually a kind of word which means priority shares actually means preference shares in a way, कि उन शेयर्स को प्रायोरिटी शेयर्स बोलते हैं जहां शेयर होल्डर को कुछ प्रायोरिटी दी जाती है। तो प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स में शेयर होल्डर्स को प्रायोरिटी दी जाती है इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स के ऊपर। तो अब अगर मैं इसका लिटरल मीनिंग लूं तो वो तो ये है, तो ये इसका आंसर नहीं हो सकता। बट एज एन अगर मैं टेक्निकल टर्म्स में जाऊं तो प्रायोरिटी शेयर्स करके कुछ ऐसा फॉर्मल वर्ड नहीं है, ये एक फॉर्मल टेक्निकल जार्गन्स हैं। तो आंसर ए हो सकता है। एक्चुअली कंपनी जो इशू नहीं हो कर सकती है वो इरिडीमेबल प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स होते हैं। कंपनी इरिडीमेबल प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स नहीं इशू कर सकती है जो पब्लिक कंपनी होती है। तो वो इस ऑप्शन में नहीं है जो मुझे पता लगा। अगर वो ऑप्शन में था देन इरिडीमेबल प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स वुड बी द आंसर। ठीक है जी, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे जाते हैं। ये मैं कह रहा था कि इरिडीमेबल प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स होते हैं जो कंपनी इशू नहीं कर पाती है, बट ऐसा कुछ ऑप्शन में नहीं दिख रहा है। मैंने 2-3 लोगों से बात की है। छठे ऑप्शन पे जाते हैं। अंडर सेक्शन 143 सबसेक्शन 6 ऑफ कंपनीज एक्ट, द टाइम पीरियड गिवन टू कैग को ऑडिट रिपोर्ट रिव्यू करने के लिए कितना टाइम दिया जाता है? इसका आंसर है जी 60 डेज दिए जाते हैं कैग को ऑडिट रिपोर्ट रिव्यू करने के लिए एज पर सेक्शन 143 ऑफ द कंपनीज एक्ट। तो इसका आंसर हो गया हमारा ऑप्शन नंबर डी। ठीक है जी, 69 डेज नहीं है जी, 60 डेज होते हैं सीएजी के लिए टू रिव्यू द ऑडिट रिपोर्ट। चलिए, तो ये कंपनीज एक्ट के 6 क्वेश्चन हो गए। अभी हम कॉस्टिंग पे चलते हैं। तो कंपनीज एक्ट बहुत स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन थे, प्रोवाइडेड यू वुड हैव रेड और आपने सब फिगर्स को क्रैम किया था अच्छे से, तो आप ये कर पाए होंगे। अभी कॉस्टिंग पे जाते हैं जी। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट अ फीचर ऑफ लीन सिस्टम? मैंने ऑप्शंस नहीं डाली हैं, टाइम कम था। बट इसमें विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट अ फीचर ऑफ लीन सिस्टम, यहां पे एक ऑप्शन था पुश, तो वही आंसर है। ठीक है, पुश सिस्टम इज नॉट अ फीचर ऑफ लीन सिस्टम। लीन सिस्टम में इनफैक्ट हम किसकी बात करते हैं? लीन सिस्टम में हम बात करते हैं पुल सिस्टम की। पुल सिस्टम क्या होता है? दैट हमें जितनी डिमांड है हम उस हिसाब से हम प्रोडक्शन करेंगे ताकि हमारी रिसोर्सेज वहीं यूज हो जहां पे उनकी जरूरत है, जहां पे कस्टमर की डिमांड है। तो इसका आंसर पुश सिस्टम था। लीन सिस्टम में पुश सिस्टम एक फीचर नहीं होता है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे चलते हैं जी। इन सिक्स सिग्मा मेथोडोलॉजी जो एम्प्लॉयज हैंडल प्रोजेक्ट along with their रेगुलर जॉब रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज उनको क्या कहते हैं? तो जो अपना काम भी करते हैं साथ में सिक्स सिग्मा प्रोजेक्ट्स को भी देखते हैं, उनको हम ग्रीन बेल्ट कहते हैं जी। ग्रीन बेल्ट क्या कहते हैं जी? ग्रीन बेल्ट। तो ये आप देखिए, ये पढ़ाया था हमने। ग्रीन बेल्ट्स आर दी एम्प्लॉयज हु टेक अप सिक्स सिग्मा along with their other job responsibilities। और ब्लैक बेल्ट होते हैं जी which devote 100% of their time to Six Sigma। तो ग्रीन बेल्ट्स एक्चुअली वर्क अंडर द गाइडेंस ऑफ ब्लैक बेल्ट्स। टोटल सेल्स माइनस ब्रेक इवन सेल्स क्या होता है जी? टोटल सेल्स माइनस ब्रेक इवन सेल्स क्या होता है कि अगर मेरी 100 यूनिट सेल है और 50 यूनिट सेल पे मेरा ब्रेक इवन हो रहा है, तो इस डिफरेंस को मैं क्या बोलूंगा? इसको हम बोलेंगे जी मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी। मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी क्यों? क्योंकि 50 पे मेरा ब्रेक इवन है, तो ये मैं जो एडिशनल सेल कर रहा हूं मेरा मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी है कि अगर कल को मेरी सेल गिरती है तो गिरते 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 जब तक वो 50 पे आएगी तब तक मैं सेफ हूं, ये मेरा मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी है। तो इसका आंसर है जी मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी। ठीक है जी। देखिए, इफ यू आर एबल टू स्पॉट एनी मिस्टेक प्लीज लेट अस नो, एज आई टोल्ड यू एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द सेशन कि ऑब्वियसली चीजें कुछ गलत हो सकती हैं क्योंकि एग्जैक्ट लैंग्वेज हमें भी नहीं पता है कि पेपर में क्या आई थी। सो इट इज मेमोरी बेस्ड, इन मेड इन कंसल्टेशन विद लॉट ऑफ पीपल, स्टूडेंट्स एंड फैकल्टी मेंबर्स जो हमारे पेपर देने गए थे। तो ये हम पढ़ते हैं जी कि मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी इंडिकेट्स द अमाउंट बाय विच सेल्स कैन ड्रॉप बिफोर लॉस बिगिंस टू बी इनकर्ड। वही बात है, ये सेल्स हमने एग्जांपल भी दिया है कि आपकी सेल्स 1000 है, ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट 500 है, तो मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी हमारा कितना हुआ? 1000 माइनस 500, योर सेल्स माइनस ब्रेक इवन। चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, हर साल आता है ये वाला क्वेश्चन। प्लान्ड आउटपुट, ये मैराथन में भी किया था, 200 यूनिट्स है, नॉर्मल लॉस 10% है, एक्चुअल आउटपुट 150 है। ठीक है, तो हमारा प्लान्ड आउटपुट 200 था, नॉर्मल लॉस 10% है, तो मेरा आउटपुट कितना होना चाहिए था? 200 का 10% मेरा लॉस होना चाहिए था, मतलब 20, मतलब मेरा आउटपुट 180 होना चाहिए था। बट मेरा आउटपुट कितना आया जी? मेरा आउटपुट आया है 150। सो 180 माइनस 150 मतलब ये 30 जो है ये मेरा एबनॉर्मल लॉस है। आई वॉज नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग दिस 30 इज माई एबनॉर्मल लॉस। तो यहां पे आंसर होगा एबनॉर्मल लॉस ऑफ 30 यूनिट्स। बहुत इजी क्वेश्चन था, ऐसे न्यूमेरिकल्स तो आपने बहुत किए होंगे, क्रैश कोर्स में भी, गोल्ड कोर्स में भी, ये मैराथन में भी किया था हमने सेम। तो सेम न्यूमेरिकल ये दिया भी हुआ है, हमने अब करवाया था आपको कि कंपनी 100 यूनिट्स बनाती है, 5% नॉर्मल लॉस है, बट अगर आउटपुट, एक्चुअल आउटपुट 93 है तो कितना नॉर्मल लॉस और एबनॉर्मल लॉस हुआ? सेम सेम था जी, यही फिगर्स चेंज करके आपको एग्जाम में आया है। चलिए, DMAIC फुल फॉर्म है, विच वन इज इनकरेक्ट? तो यहां पे दिया था कि मतलब डी से डिजाइन दिया था, ये गलत है और उन्होंने इनकरेक्ट पूछा था। यहां पे होता है डी से डिफाइन, एम से मेजर, ए से एनालाइज, आई से इंप्रूव, सी से कंट्रोल। तो डिजाइन दिया था डी से, वो गलत था जी, हमें इनकरेक्ट बताना था, तो ये हमारा आंसर था जी। तो हमने बहुत मतलब बहुत ही, ये तो फिगर से ही हो रहा था कि डीमैक का मतलब डी से डिफाइन, नॉट डिजाइन। चलिए नेक्स्ट करते हैं जी, बैच कॉस्टिंग फॉल्स अंडर विच टाइप ऑफ कॉस्टिंग? बैच कॉस्टिंग किस टाइप की कॉस्टिंग के अंदर फॉल करती है? तो बेसिकली जॉब कॉस्टिंग के अंदर बैच कॉस्टिंग फॉल करती है। जॉब कॉस्टिंग कैन बी ऑफ 2 टाइप्स, job costing can be of 2 types, contract costing and batch costing. So batch costing is one such type of job costing. So answer was option number A. ये बहुत ही आसान क्वेश्चन था कि जॉब कॉस्टिंग कैन बी ऑफ 2 टाइप्स, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कॉस्टिंग, बैच कॉस्टिंग। जिसने अगर चीजें ऊपर ऊपर से भी पढ़ी होंगी ना, वो आराम से पेपर पेल के आया होगा। Which of the following type of costing involves variable and fixed cost to all the products and services? किस टाइप की कॉस्टिंग में वेरिएबल और फिक्स कॉस्ट को कंसिडर कर कॉस्टिंग की जाती है? इसका आंसर था जी एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग। ये आपके सिलेबस में वैसे है नहीं, बट इससे क्वेश्चन आ जाता है कभी कभार। इसका आंसर था जी एब्जॉर्प्शन कॉस्टिंग, ऑप्शन नंबर ई। चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन करते हैं। अंडर काइजन व्हाट टाइप ऑफ इंप्रूवमेंट इज नीडेड? तो क्वेश्चन थे सडन इंप्रूवमेंट, ग्रेजुअल इंप्रूवमेंट। तो आंसर इसका था ग्रेजुअल इंप्रूवमेंट, क्योंकि कैजन क्या है, कैजन में हम कॉन्टिन्यूअस या ग्रेजुअल इंप्रूवमेंट, कॉन्टिन्यूअस मतलब धीरे धीरे ग्रेजुअली हम इंप्रूवमेंट करते रहते हैं। तो इसका आंसर होगा जी ग्रेजुअल। कंटिन्यूअस ऑप्शन नहीं था, ग्रेजुअल इंप्रूवमेंट ऑप्शन था, तो इसका आंसर इज ग्रेजुअल इंप्रूवमेंट। ठीक है जी, इसका आंसर है ग्रेजुअल इंप्रूवमेंट। दैट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 14। ये देखिए, ये पढ़ाया गया था आपको कि कैजन मींस चेंज फॉर बेटर विच इज अ कॉन्टिन्यूअस इंप्रूवमेंट, मतलब ग्रेजुअल इंप्रूवमेंट। चलिए, लास्ट क्वेश्चन है शायद ये कॉस्टिंग का। व्हाट शुड बी द मैक्सिमम टाइम टू सर्व द कस्टमर। इस क्वेश्चन का मुझे एग्जैक्ट लैंग्वेज पता नहीं लग रहा है, बट ऑप्शन से जो पता लग रहा है कि जो टाइमिंग हम कैलकुलेट करते हैं कि हमारे पास टोटल टाइम कितना है और पर प्रोडक्ट और टोटल प्रोडक्ट्स कितने बनाने हैं, उसमें से हम पर यूनिट टाइम निकालते हैं विच वी शुड ट्राई टू मेक अ प्रोडक्ट सो दैट इट इज अवेलेबल टू द कस्टमर विद इन द लिमिटेड टाइम। तो वो होता है जी तख्त टाइम। तो इसका आंसर जो मुझे समझ आ रहा है, दो ये शायद लैंग्वेज बिल्कुल सही नहीं है, अगर किसी को एग्जैक्ट लैंग्वेज पता है तो मुझे चैट बॉक्स में जरूर बताए टाइप कर। तो इसका आंसर जो मुझे समझ आ रहा है वो तक टाइम होगा, क्योंकि हम ये पढ़ते हैं तक टाइम के अंदर कि जितना हमारे पास टोटल टाइम है और जितनी कस्टमर डिमांड, अगर मेरे पास 1 घंटा है, 60 मिनट है और 15 यूनिट्स मुझे बनाने हैं, कस्टमर का डिमांड है, इट मीन्स 4 मिनट पर यूनिट आई कैन टेक टू मीट द कस्टमर डिमांड। उसके बाद डिलेज शुरू हो जाएंगे। So this is the maximum time I can take to actually fulfill the customer demand, to meet the customer demand। तो इसका आंसर है जी तख्त टाइम। आई होप सही है ये। ठीक है जी, मैक्सिमम टाइम टू मीट कस्टमर डिमांड एंड टू मेक द प्रोडक्ट, तो तख्त टाइम ही इसका आंसर होगा जी। ठीक है जी, तो ये सारे क्वेश्चंस मैंने आपको बता दिए। मुझे नहीं लगता है कि ये क्वेश्चंस बहुत मुश्किल है अगर किसी ने अच्छे से तैयारी की होगी, बट एज आई टोल्ड यू, अलग अलग परसेप्शंस हैं। अगर हमने शॉर्टकट किए हैं, अच्छे से तैयारी नहीं की है, तो हमें शायद मॉडरेट भी लगा होगा। बट ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं। ये 2 सेक्शंस मेरे हिसाब से काफी डुएबल थे। दी ओनली थिंग इज के क्वेश्चन थोड़े स्क्यूड है। अगर मैं कॉस्टिंग में भी बात करूं तो लीन सिस्टम से ही यार 4-5 क्वेश्चन डाल रखे हैं उन्होंने, तो थोड़ा सा स्क्यूड है पेपर के, कहीं कहीं कुछ कुछ चैप्टर से बहुत एक्सेसिव क्वेश्चन डाल दिए, बैलेंस्ड नहीं है विद इन द चैप्टर्स। चलिए, अब अगला सेक्शन के लिए मैं कृतिका मैम को बुलाऊंगा, इकोनॉमिक्स के लिए।
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, hello everyone. So, economics, I will say it was moderate in nature. Some questions were very easy, direct, law of demand से direct questions are so बहुत ही easy. But some questions were out of box and a little difficult. So, starting with the first question, what is the law of demand? As per my understanding, this was the direct question. और इस तरीके के options थे and बहुत ही easy question. Like we have done this in marathon, we have done this in course. So, law of demand basically says if the price is rising, demand is falling, or if the price is falling, demand is rising. Okay, so directly that was the answer. And so here the answer was that when the price of a good rise, the demand falls. Okay, directly this was the answer and this was the question. So a very easy question it was. Okay, coming to the, and we have done this in course, we have done this in marathon also, that what is the law of demand. So we have done this a lot of time. Now coming to the next one, that is manufacturing comes under which of the following sectors of the economy. Now here the options were primary sector. So primary sector is agriculture and allied activities. Secondary sector is for manufacturing, processing, construction. Tertiary sector is service sector. Quaternary sector is your knowledge-based economy or knowledge-based services like your research and development and such. Quaternary sector is the top decision-making bodies or the top decision-making authorities. So here manufacturing directly comes under secondary sector. So if you have basic understanding of the sectors, very easy question. Okay, again, so secondary sector was the answer, and in the course directly it has been written that all manufacturing, processing, construction jobs, they lie within the sector. Okay, coming to the next question, that which of the following is not a non-tax revenue receipts. We have done this question in our crash course, we have done this question in our marathon session also, and again, like this is a very basic terminology if you have studied the budget and the receipts and the expenditure in the budget. So in the receipts in the budget, non-tax revenue receipt. So basically here borrowings is a capital receipt. So which of the following is not a revenue receipt? Borrowing is a capital receipt, right? So directly this was the answer. Done? Okay. So this was the answer directly, and we have done this in our course that the non-tax revenue receipts are the profit, your profit, dividend, interest, receipts, fees, penalties, fines, all of this is your non-tax revenue receipt. Okay, so only borrowings are the capital receipt, so it is not a revenue receipt. Now coming to the next question, this was a little difficult. That's why I said that economics was moderate. So starting 3 questions were pretty easy, but the last 2 questions are a little difficult, I will say, especially this one, because the Friedman permanent income hypothesis, we have studied this in our course, but the question was a little complicated, and I got to know from many of the students that the statements were very, very lengthy. Okay, so many of the students didn't read the statements. Now the question was that Keynesian, what is the difference between Keynesian consumption function and Friedman's permanent income hypothesis? Basically, first option was that the Keynesian consumption function depends upon permanent income, and the Friedman permanent income hypothesis depend upon current disposable income. So it has been switched. So this cannot be correct, because Keynesian consumption function depends upon disposable income and Friedman permanent income hypothesis depends upon permanent income. Okay, so this is wrong. Now price level, random nature, this is wrong, because no consumption function depends upon price level. Influenced by interest rate related to zero income, again no consumption function depends upon interest rate. Declining MPC, now in the Keynesian consumption function the declining MPC cannot be true, because MPC is constant. MPC is constant in the Keynesian consumption function, so this statement is also incorrect. So if you have read the statements, you would have recognized that the statements were, many of the statements were identifiably wrong. Okay, the last statement is actually true now, because that is what we are left with. So permanent income hypothesis is influenced by transitory income. So permanent income hypothesis talks about permanent income and transitory income. So that's the 5th is the right answer here. Okay, so here you can see in the course itself, the Keynesian consumption function has said that APC declines with the increase in income, but the MPC remains constant. MPC is constant in nature, it cannot decline. And in the permanent income hypothesis, there is the mention of permanent income and transitory income. So if you have read the summary sheet, you would have been able to answer this question, as well as if you have seen the classes as well, you would have known the other options are incorrect. Okay, now do confirm that this was the, yes, okay, even if it is past income, then also it cannot be true, because the Keynesian consumption function has said that the consumption depends upon absolute current income. So current disposable income or current income. So consumption function cannot depend upon, Keynesian consumption function cannot depend upon past income, it depends upon current disposable income. Okay, so even if it was past income, then also it would have not been correct, because the Keynesian consumption function depends upon current disposable income or current income. Got it? 2 options seemed very confusing. Okay, now coming to the next one, I will see the comments later on. And if there is any mistake in the question, do tell me that. Now this last question, it is a out of the box question. It is not directly related to your syllabus or static portion. So basically it is saying that the World Bank classifies countries as per capita income. So basically here we are talking about classification of the countries into different categories. Which of the following categories is not included here? So basically high net worth individual, it is not talking about countries. High net worth individuals, they are the individuals. So of course, the directly, if you have seen the answer, or like if you have seen the statement, this would have been the right answer. Okay, so 4th is the right answer here, high net worth individual. It is not one of the category. Okay, so this is the idea. So here these were the 5 questions in your economics. Now, so I have talked to multiple students, and one of our colleague also went to the examination, and they said that the MPC was declining. If the MPC is declining, then it cannot be true for the Keynesian consumption function. Okay, so as per the people I have talked to, they have said that the MPC is declining. Okay, but do tell me, declining mention nahi tha, so okay, we will correct that in the later on part then. Okay, So this is the idea for the 5 questions. Do tell us in the comment section that if there is any wrong statement or wrong question framing or there is any wrong option, so do tell me in the comment section also, so that we can later on rectify it. Okay, if it was mentioned that MPC is constant, then maybe this whole statement was something else. Okay, so this is what we have got from our students and the colleague also, and that's why we come to this option. If there was some other option, then the answer might have been different. Okay, or if this was not in the option, then the answer might have been different. So basically, if you have studied the Keynesian consumption function that we have discussed in our course also, that we have discussed beforehand, and the permanent income hypothesis that has been discussed, so if you know the nitty-gritties, you could have answered the question, but yes, options could be very confusing sometimes. Okay. Okay. So this is the idea. Okay, then I will invite Jalal sir now for taking over for your management section, and this question that you are confused in, we will, like, when we are making the whole we are making the final question paper, then we will discuss about it more, or then we will correct it. Okay, thanks.
Right. So hello everybody. Now we will start with the management section. And yes, when it comes to management, we were only able to find 4 questions, and some people were saying that there were 4 questions only. But if you see from these 4 questions, all the 4 were easy only, right? Management, I think, was the most easiest of all. So let's start with the very first question. What is the other name of laissez-faire leadership? This leadership was given by Kurt Levin, right? And we have done this multiple times before. That laissez-faire leadership is also known as your delegative leadership. So the correct answer will be delegative leadership, in which you give the full command to the team members and leader is not that much actively participating, right? So this was very, very easy, I would say, and this we have already covered in our course beautifully in the first section itself. Okay, now let's move ahead to the Hansberg theory. Hansberg has given 2-factor theory, right? In the 2-factor theory, he had just said that there are motivators and the hygiene factors. And aap hi batao humne kitni baar kiya hai, right? So again, I think this was also a very, very easy question. If you are doing this wrong, then you are not studying management in the easiest way as well. So over here, the answer will be satisfiers or your motivations, motivating factors. But in the options, this particular option is correct. Now, motivators are also known as satisfier over here. Hygiene factors we also know are known as maintenance factors. So I hope ये भी आपका सही गया होगा. This should not be a problem for all of you. If this is a problem, then you are at level 0 in management. Okay. So this is also covered in our course beautifully. If you see, full Hansberg 2-factor theory has been given by explaining you multiple concepts. Next question. Douglas McGregor, what does theory X person assume? Douglas McGregor, I hope you remember, we have theory X and we have theory Y. And then we have William Auchi also, who has given you theory Z. But the question was asking regarding the assumptions which theory X person makes. Theory X is always authoritative. Theory X is always assuming all the negative stuff for the different employees which are working in his team. So the answer of this particular question will be people require supervision. Why? Because the theory X person always believes in direct formal supervision, right? He always keeps on checking. That what is happening in the team. So therefore the correct answer for this question will be people require supervision, right? And this is again beautifully covered in our course. Now see, this is very easy. This can be covered in all the courses, right? So let's move ahead to the next question, which is what is the example of upward communication? So if you see, they have asked you question from motivation, leadership and communication only. 0 question from journal management, 0 question from HRD, right? And this is something which is quite surprising, because in journal management you study the soul of management, which is planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. But ek bhi question nahi pucha. HRD, again, they have not asked any question. So what will be the example of upward communication? What question you have marked? Please tell me. Strict supervision. So supervision wala tha, that was the correct one. Yes, over here the answer will be soliciting feedback. Soliciting basically means asking. Okay, it basically means what? Asking. As simple as that. Okay. So these were the 4 basic questions from the management, and I hope you would see this particular exact question in our course as well once you open the chapter number 3 of management, which is communication. Okay. Moving forward to the next, and I would say the most complicated section of today's exam, finance. Right. So I can see in the chat also, and yes, some questions, as sir has said before, you also, preference share is not in the option. So I think you are referring to the other question. So some questions we have for finance, some are we are still making it. So if you know the exact question, please let us know in the comment box also. That will help us to do the proper analysis. Now let's start with finance. First of all, this question is taken from your finance commission. Okay, finance commission, FRBM. These are definitely 2 important chapters for you. The question says, while determining the share of the states in the vertical devolution, the Finance Commission primarily operates with which guiding principle? And yes, question language can be a bit, I would say, twisted, but this is the best question which we are able to replicate. Okay. So what was the answer from your end in this particular case? Can you please let me know? Correcting vertical fiscal imbalances, prioritizing development, ensuring uniform tax rates, maximizing FDI, linking states, and exclusive to performance audits. Even if you have studied basics of Finance Commission and FRBM, you can still have a good knowledge of this. Yes, the correct answer will be option number A only, because you try to correct the imbalances. Imbalances as in that if 2 states are there, how we have to bring them on par, right? So we do not have to do any kind of partiality when it comes to the, I would say, what distribution among the states and among the central government as well. So this is again given in our course. You can see the functions of Finance Commission, right? It makes sure that your states and the central government have a fair share on the resources. Moving forward to the one of the easiest question, treasury bills are issued under which type of market? T-bills, commercial paper, certificate of deposits. This we have revised multiple times in the marathon also, but they have asked you a very, very basic question. T-bill is definitely a part of money market, right? In which government of India borrows, simple, right? Capital market is a long-term security market. Okay. So answer over here will be option number B. And yes, in your debt market chapter of finance, we have beautifully covered that what T-bill is and how many types of T-bills are and what are the updated conditions of T-bill. Question number 27. Why did Reserve Bank of India intensify its use of forward and spot FX intervention? FX basically means what? Forex intervention during the Russia-Ukraine war. So what was the major objective of RBI when they were doing some forex interventions? When they were doing some forex interventions during the war? Please let me know your answers. Please let me know the answers. What answer you have marked for this question? Don't focus on the options, because options we have tried to create by ourselves. Okay, we are just telling you the right one. Okay, so please let me know the answer of this question. To completely halt the capital outflows, to stabilize rupee, to increase the foreign exchange reserves of India. Then we have to promote long-term rupee appreciation against dollar and to eliminate the need for RBI to monitor market movements. The correct answer will be B, because RBI, when they are working in forex market, their main aim is to provide stability to the exchange rate, which will come when they will buy and sell rupees and the foreign dollars in the forex market, right? So over here, the correct answer will be option number B. It was related to the stability of rupee. Stability of rupee means what? That our home currency do not appreciates that much and they do not depreciate that much. It has to be in control, right? It has to be in between. Extremes are always avoided. So answer will be B over here. And this was again, if you see, we have covered this in, I would say, the topic which was related to RBI, right? So we have discussed multiple cases also wherein we tell you that how RBI buys and sells the dollar in the forex market. Next question. the major objective of Forex is always to stabilize rupee. So if stabilization of rupee is in the option, then your answer should be stabilization of rupee. Next question is related to which of the following is a zero rated supply under GST? Which of the following is a zero rated supply under GST? What will be the answer of this question, which is question number 28 of your paper? Please answer. Yes, all of you are giving the right one. Yes, to stabilize price and anchor inflation from the external shocks. So you are coming on the same point only, that the answer should be stabilizing pricing, right? Please tell me the next answer. I am looking for the answers for 28. Yes, the correct one will be export of goods and services. This is also very, very easy. Even if you know the basics of GST, which is goods and services tax, you can definitely say that the export of goods and services is a zero rated supply considered under GST. So this is direct question which they have taken from the theory of GST, which we have also covered in our different chapters related to GST. Like you can see zero rated supplies, which covers your different exports and different services as well. Right, moving forward. Which of the following correctly matches with the regulator of pension sector, RRBs and mutual fund? RRBs are regulated by RBI, right? So even if you know the first one answer, then also you can eliminate the others. Which of the following correctly matches the regulator for pension sector, RRBs and mutual funds? Mutual funds are regulated by SEBI, right? And the exam which you all are preparing for is pension only, right? So pension is regulated by PFRDA. So the correct order will be option number A, PFRDA, RBI and SEBI, right? So very easy for this as well. Simple. And again, I am saying that you do not have to focus on the language of the options. Like over here, if I go back in this particular question, yes, I truly agree that the language which we have created, it is created by us. This is not the exact language which you will find in the paper as well. But in the paper, the option which was talking about stabilization of rupee was the correct one. Okay. Moving forward. So these questions were still doable in finance. And this is easy, not even moderate one. So we have completed 29 questions till now. Now there was a question for which even I need your help. Through which mechanism does the transaction takes place under AEPS? Aadhaar enabled payment system. Like biometrics was given. Like we are also not sure. So we are keeping this particular, I would say what question as open only. If you can help us in this particular question, then it will be very, very good. So jaldi 3:30 ko dusra session hai aapka. Don't worry, that will be delayed after all. Cool. So this question we are not clear, so we are not able to give the answer. But some students were saying biometrics de rakha hai. Some were saying different things were also given. Okay. So I'm not sure that what will be the correct answer, and therefore I need your help for this question. Once we have the options, we will give you the answer also. But first you need to tell us that what options were given over here, right? Based on that only we can give you the correct answer. Moving forward. So ये हमने AEPS cover जरूर करा हुआ है, but it depends that what type of question has came from this particular topic. Question number 31. Why Reserve Bank of India is relying more on SDF instead of repo rate? Why Reserve Bank of India relies more on standing deposit facility instead of repo rate? What will be the correct answer for this question which is coming on your screen? Yes, simple, because if you see, reverse repo rate is no more the floor rate of your policy corridor. Now you have SDF. SDF is collateral free and it is more useful by RBI. So therefore the correct answer will be option number B over here, which is SDF is collateral, requires no government securities in collateral. Yes. Moving forward to the next question, question number 32. Now this is a kind of a shocker for all of us that they have asked you a question related to stable coins. Stable coins we all know is a kind of a cryptocurrency, right? So please tell me the answer for question number 32. Which of the following is the key benefit of stable coin? They guarantee unlimited profits through cryptocurrency trading. They eliminate the need of all banking regulations worldwide. They provide price stability by pegging the value to assets like USD or gold. They ensure all cryptocurrencies are automatically a legal tender. They prevent cyber fraud and hacking completely. According to us, we are giving the answer as option number C. Because if you see the difference between normal cryptocurrencies and stablecoin is what? Stablecoin is kind of linked to one particular fiat asset. Fiat asset, like you will have certain backing to it. Therefore, we think that the answer can be C, but we are not 100% sure. Okay, but rest all the options looks very, very weird to me. Okay, rest all the options look weird to me. So we are not sure for this particular question ki stable coin ke related kya question tha. And finance definitely was toughest of all the components. Commerce and accounts easy, management easy. You have costing also, which is directly coming from the theory. So in finance, this question is also something which we are not sure. But if in your option, they are talking about pegging the value to assets like USD or gold, then yes, this will be the most appropriate question over here. Question number 33 now. What is the role of SEBI in implementing the guidelines of business responsibility and sustainable reporting? BRSR. And this is very, very famous. Like I will take this question as moderate only. Please tell me the answer of this. Okay, low cost, fast transaction and traceability. Okay. Options are wrong. Okay, so I will note it down. There is a confusion in fiat currency question, or in the question of stable currency rather. So there was options are wrong. Okay, options are wrong for 32. I apologize. But for 33, what will be your total answer? Like was there any question which was talking about business responsibility and sustainable reporting? I hope it was. And this particular report largely talks about SEBI mandates to top listed companies to disclose their ESG, economic, social and governance norms through BRSR. So this will be the correct answer for question number 33 as well. Okay. So this is the first answer. This is the question number 33, and this option number A looks more correct to me from all the other angles. Moving forward to 34. Now there was one question related to total capital of RBI. Now total capital of RBI, if I'm not wrong, it was 5 crore only. Okay. Yes. So global ESG provision, something was mentioned regarding ESG. So that's why we have picked that particular question. ESG ke related jo question tha, right? So that will be the correct answer for that particular report, BRSR, right? Moving forward. Yes, over here we are giving the answer as 5 crore only, because this is the reserve capital which capital maintains in RBI. Okay, so answer will be 5 crore. And if I'm not wrong, this is given under section 4 of the RBI Act of 1934. Moving forward, and this is again covered in our course, you can see directly that what will be the capital of RBI. Question number 35. Now this is also a kind of a very, I would say a weird question for all of us. What is the main outcome of the Genius Act? Genius Act. Like I don't know why PFRDA is moving towards cryptocurrency and why they are asking you certain weird questions like this. What is the main outcome from Genius Act? Guiding and establishing national innovation for US stable coins. So see, stable coin is a cryptocurrency, but it will definitely have some backing, either in the form of sovereign banking, either in the form of government backing it, either in the form any assets backing it. So this was the act, Genius Act, and they have asked one question related to it. Now over here we are giving the answer as option number B. It requires stable coins to be backed with 1:1 with US dollar or equivalent liquid assets. This is the answer which we are giving. But again, I am not that much sure for this question as well. All the questions which are related to stable coin, that were kind of confusing for us also. Right? Moving forward to the pension now. So if you see, my friends, finance was definitely a bit weird, but certain questions were easy. Like if you see in finance, if I go from question number 1 itself, in finance, if you see, certain questions were easy. Like this question was easy, but certain questions like I would say stable coins, certain questions wherein they are asking about Genius Act, that was tough. Okay, so finance was kind of more moderate to tough, but certain questions were easy also. So this completes our overall finance. I have given you a good introduction of finance. Now we are left with pension and commerce and accounts. But till now, tell me, we have discussed more than, I would say, what, 30 questions. Are you all getting 30 plus? How many of you are having the score of 30 correct till now? किस किसका score 30 correct अभी तक आ रहा है? On the answer key which we are providing to you. किस किसका score 30 above आ रहा है? Depending upon the answer key which we have provided to you so far. 30 plus किस किसका आ रहा है? In the terms of question. So if your 30 is correct, then definitely 30 into 2 is 60. So you are scoring in good range. Anything above 60 is good range in phase 1, paper 2. How many of you are getting above 30 questions correct? Please let me know in the chat. 33 correct out of 35. Okay, Har Har Mahadev. What about others? What about others? 31. Till now only 6 wrong. Okay, Shivai. What about others? Anybody who is having very less score? I hope you are not, because I think on these set of questions 30 is a good score to go with, at least in the number of questions. Next is your pension. Under pension, again I would say it was very basic questions. No question except one was moderate, so I will keep pension in easy category only. Like under pension, they have asked you what is the minimum monthly contribution for, I would say, APY. So if you join at 18, then your per month contribution will definitely be rupees 42. So answer will be option number A. And this again we have covered. If you join at the entry of 18, you have to pay you have to give rupees 42 as a, I would say, what, as a monthly installment, right? You can see over here. Simple. Okay. So this was one of the basic question which relates to APY. Moving forward, 37. What is the maximum age for joining APY? Now this we have discussed multiple times in our revision series. 18 to 40. So minimum 18, maximum 40. Therefore, the answer will be option number B. Right? So answer will be option number B. Moving forward to the next one. Yeah, this is also covered in our course, by the way. APY 18 to 40. 38. What is the maximum age for operating NPS Vatsalya account? Again, we were expecting question from NPS Vatsalya and UPS also, but they have not asked any question related to UPS, but they have asked question related to NPS Vatsalya. The answer will be 18 years, right? Because if you see under NPS Vatsalya, all citizens under 18 are eligible to subscribe to NPS Vatsalya. So this also we have discussed multiple times in our lectures as well as in our unique gold course and silver courses. What is the minimum contribution required for NPS tier 1? Now in NPS, in our live classes, we have taught everything, conditions and all of that, but they are asking you a very basic question. The answer will be 1000 rupees, which is option number C in this case. Okay, very basic. Next question. And again, this is covered beautifully in our course. You can see that multiple different models are covered, and we have told you that what should be the maximum and minimum contribution. Moving forward. Now this question was kind of good. Like if you have deposited 50,000 in your account as per the rules of partial withdrawal, what is the maximum amount that can be withdrawn and after how many years? See, partial withdrawal in NPS is only allowed after 3 years, right? Partial withdrawal can be done in 3 years and you can only withdraw 25% of the amount. So in this case, you have to do 25,000. You have to take 25% of 50,000, which will be 12,500, right? And this amount you can withdraw after 3 years. So therefore, the answer will be option number B. Good. So these are the questions which we have so far collected for pension. One more question number 6 in this case. Under NPS government model, central government model, which investment class has the highest permissible exposure limit? So if you are investing for central government employees, then definitely you will invest most of your money in government securities. So answer over here will be option number A. This again, according to me, is easy. Okay. So except this question, which is again asking you 3% of 25%, 3 years after 3 years, you can withdraw 25% of corpus, right? This question is moderate. Rest all the questions are direct, straightforward for pension. Okay, so answer over here will be option number A, which we have already discussed, that maximum if you invest in government model, government securities will take the highest allocation up to 65%. Right, so this completes your pension also. So till now, if you see, we have done multiple questions. Now we are starting with commerce and accounts. Commerce and accounts, they have asked you 5 questions. They have asked you 5 questions, and yes, if you are able to recall any question which we have missed, then please put it in the comment box. Okay, with this answer key, we are just letting you know that even if you are having 30 plus correct, you are safe in paper 2, and if you have good number of attempts in paper 1, then again you are safe. In commerce and accounts, the very first question was, which of the following is the last step in accounting process? Now this is halwa. This is not even easy. This is halwa. Why? Because this is the first thing which you read in accounts, that how does you make the process of accounting, right? In the last step will be communication. Why communication, my friends? Because you have to communicate the accounting information to multiple people who are interested in it. So answer will be option number B over here, which is communication. Right? All of you? Cool. Now let's move forward to the next one. And yes, this is how it was covered in our course also. First, identify, measure, record, and communicate. Okay. Now, this was a kind of a current ratio numerical, but this is not tough. This is moderate kind of stuff. You just need to remember the formula, which is current ratio is equals to current assets divided by current liabilities. Now, cash is given as 1 lakh. Cash is given as 1 lakh. Disposable investment less than 1 year of maturity is given to you as 50,000. Inventory 75,000. Sundry creditors will come under your current liability. So if you do the total of current assets, 1 lakh plus 50,000, which will give you what? 1 lakh 50. 1 lakh 50 plus 75, which will give you 225, right? 2 lakh 25,000. Please, mathematics you can control by yourself. Sundry creditors 15,000, 1 lakh 25,000 as a bank overdraft, and outstanding expenses. Add them. Like if you have what? 15 plus 10 is your 25. You just have to add 25 over here, which will take it as 1,50,000. So if you do this particular calculation, your number will come out as 1.5. Your number will come out as 1.5, right? Simple question. So I will rate this as easy, but for those who have not covered it, it will be moderate. Question number, I would say, and yes, we have covered current ratio in our course also. You can see the snippet. Question number 44. Which of the following activities comes under financing activity? Now, in the initial reaction of today's analysis, somebody told me that it was operating, but I talked to more students. They said operating nahi tha, financing tha. So this was the answer for this particular question. Try to answer it. Yes, Rishu, that answer will be vesting. And vesting here is also there, right? Vesting period under ESOPs. इसका आंसर बताइए please. What will be the answer for this question 44? Yes, which of the following will come? Like some students were saying यहाँ पे not come था, but we have talked to many and they were saying comes ही था. So which of the following will come under financing? Dividend paid, and this is the first thing which you read when you are completing the activities of multiple cash flows, right? So cash inflows, cash outflows, you can see directly it is given where? Dividend paid on equity and preference capital. So this will come under your, I would say what? Financing activities. Rest can come under investing or operating as well. And there was a question related to PAT. Like some students told me that some values were given, like only items were given, not values. Revenue from operation, stock in trade, employees benefit, tax liability, depreciation and other income. And in the options, they have given you some like kind of this revenue from operation minus what? Like they have given you a formula, but there was no, I would say what? There was no value which was given to revenue for operation. Kitna hai? That was not given to you. So they have given you net profit. Agar aapko nikalna hai, then what will be the formula? So with these different items, you have to calculate the, I would say what? You have to calculate the PAT. PAT, by the way, stands for what? Net profit. Net profit is the final profit which remains in the company, which company can use for multiple things. What will be the answer? Value was there. Okay. We have to choose the correct option. Okay, so value was given. Some students are saying value was given. But in the option, if I'm not wrong, that value was not making any sense because directly you were about to find the equation only. Okay, value दे रखा था. Okay, my bad. So some students whom to I talked, they told me value was not given. Cool. Not an issue. So value was given, but in the option they have just given you the formula, right? So if these were the different items, then you will calculate PAT with this formula. Revenue from operation plus the other income. This will give you the total income minus all the different things, because these are kind of expenses for business itself. So if you have to calculate the, I would say, what PAT, then you just have to do revenue minus all the other things. Okay. And we have covered net profit ratio or your profit after tax in the course as well. This is the last question of our day, like of the analysis, I mean. In the context of employee stock options, which of the following is a prerequisite? Employee has to exercise his right to purchase the share of company. This is again very easy, my friends. This will be vesting. Vesting, right? Vesting period is there for which you have to wait. After that, you can definitely what do? You can sell your, you can exercise your right of ESOPs, I mean. Right. So till now, if you see, we have the list of 46 questions, out of which some questions are doable, but the doable one are only, the non-doable one are only 3. So if you see from 46, if you are able to solve 40 correct, if you are able to solve 40 correct, then you are like total genius in this particular paper. But if you are able to score 30 plus, like your score is 30 plus correct questions, then you are good. But if it is less than 30, then you need to ask yourself that was you a serious student. Cost of production से question था. Okay, what was the question? Cost of production. Anything else which you would like to contribute? Prime cost question. Okay, so there was a question of prime cost also. Cost of production से क्या question था and prime cost से क्या question था, you can let me know. But अगर आपके ये 46 questions में से 40 correct आ रहे हैं, then salute to you. What, very good. Har Har Mahadev. Prime question was there. Okay, direct. Pranav, you can help me on discussion forum as well. You can just post the question which is coming to your mind and I will take it from there. Direct, easy. Okay, so 4 questions we are still not able to find. So once we find those 4 questions, the list of all the questions appearing in PFRDA will be clear. So till now, if I'm not wrong, we have only, I would say what, some students only who have scored bad, but I think maximum of you have scored good. And if my friends possible, if it is possible for all of you, how was the study with EduTap? How was the overall marathons? How was the overall revision sessions? You can let us know your feedback on hello@edutap.co.in. Okay. Please let me know whether you are happy with EduTap or not, because after all, this is not just your paper, it is our paper also. Prime cost, okay, prime cost pe question tha, we will definitely include it. Don't worry, but I think I have discussed all the questions till now, which was there, which was with us. And yes, thank you for watching this session. Again, I request you, please let me know whether the courses of EduTap was helpful or not, because this is not just your paper, this is our paper also. So this is a testing time for both, for you also and for us also. Are you happy with the EduTap as an institute? Accounting process का आंसर कम्युनिकेशन होगा. ओके सौरभ, एक्सपेक्टेड कट ऑफ अभी थोड़ी देर में हम लोग सेशन करेंगे, उसके अंदर वी विल टेल यू द एक्सपेक्टेड कट ऑफ ऑल्सो. कूल. नॉन टैक्स रेवेन्यू का क्वेश्चन हमने कवर कर लिया है. चलिए जी, सो थैंक यू सो मच. कट ऑफ ऑफ पेपर 2 वी विल डिस्कस, डोंट वरी. EduTap से ऑलमोस्ट आ जाते हैं सर. ऑलमोस्ट का मतलब क्या है? चलो जी. So if you have any feedback, you can drop your mails on hello@edutap.co.in. Right? Simple. $65 is very, very good. 30 to 32 in marks in paper 2. Yes, you will clear. Don't worry. Moonshine. 30 to 32 marks. Provided that you have good score in paper 1 also, तो ठीक है. No, 30 to 32 marks in paper 2 is good. Why you guys are demotivating her? At least for her. Because last year the cutoff for paper 2 was 16, right? So if she is getting 30 to 32 and if she has a good score in paper 1, then there is no issue. चलो कट ऑफ वाला हम लोग थोड़ी देर में करेंगे. Do stay tuned to our channel and keep studying in the best manner as possible.